My next guest has got an awesome fight coming up here against Charles Rosa at UFC Fight Night on February 20th. It is Darrick Minner back here on the program. Darrick, how's it going, man?
It's going good, man. Just got done with training, and now we're relaxed time. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me part of your relaxed time. I'm sure you could be playing video games or watching Netflix or any of that cool stuff. So appreciate it very much. But man, how excited are you to get this fight? You know, Charles Rosa's been in the UFC for a while. Pretty notable guy. Tell me the excitement level of getting a fight like this.
His name had come up before when I got sick with Griffin. He came up and getting an opponent for that fight. So that's an exciting. I was excited about it then, and then it didn't work out. And so I'm definitely excited about it now. I watched his last fight, and I was like, I really want to fight this guy eventually. So I mean, it's going to be a fun one. I mean, everybody thinks it's going to be a little grappling battle and stuff. So we'll see what happens, man. It's an exciting fight.
You got to talk about your last fight. What a win that was over TJ Laramie. Could that fight have gone any better in your opinion? You don't get paid by the hour.
No, I mean, anytime. I mean, I was one of 6 guys that didn't get touched in the octagon last year. So, man, I didn't take a punch, didn't take any damage, and I mean, it was kind of how James Krause kind of predicted it. We didn't realize it was going to be a minute in, but we thought that's how it was going to go, a little bit like that. So, nothing really. It surprised me how quick it went, but once I get that in, and we're rocking and rolling. So it was great, man. Nothing better than that.
Do you think he overlooked you in the fight a bit? I mean, I think he was a big favorite going in.
I don't know if he overlooked me. I just think he thought his defense was better than what it was, maybe, or he's got guillotine guys in the camp, or what. I don't know. I mean, the kid's gonna be good. The kid's gonna be really good. He's only 22, 23 years old, and I mean, I've been around a while. You can't count out the guys that have been around for 10, 12 years. So.
No, good point. Did anyone win any money on your fight? Because like I said, you were an underdog.
A lot of people.
Tell me some stories. I heard, I know Kevin Kroom talking to him. He had a bunch of people who won a ton of money on his fight.
Yeah, man. I had a dude. I mean, a bunch of my buddies won a bunch of money, like a couple grand here and there and stuff. I had one dude from, I think it was New York. He got 17-1 odds on me to win first round submission, which is insane. Yeah. Like the fact is, like, you're giving somebody 17-1 odds for a guy that has 23 first-round submissions. You're out your mind. And so I had a lot of those. I had a lot of guys that bet first-round submission that I was just getting, Twitter, Instagram, everybody telling me thanks for the bread and all that stuff. So, I mean, that's definitely and a lot of people actually lost a lot of money too, because that was like, when you're betting parlays, you're like, oh, this is a sure win. I don't even know who these guys are. I'm not going to check them out. And so, it was good, man. A lot of people won money.
And it was sort of like a chain effect in your gym, right? Because, Kevin got his win and, James won. And, I mean, there's just been so many good performances. Like, I guess, did you feel that in the room after the fact with your win that seemed like everyone was kind of winning a lot of impressive fights? Zach Cummins was another one who won a fight.
Yeah, everybody had a great year. The team had a great year. And, I was lucky enough to join them right for that camp. And now I'm down here every week now. I drive down here and I've been down here for 4 weeks solid, and I'll continue my whole camp down here. And so, it's just going to be another one, man. We got like 8, 9 guys in a row, starting with Julian Marquez the week before me, and then it rattles off all the way until like April 10th. So it's just going to be a chain effect, and I think we're just gonna roll through and have a great year again.
How long is that drive for you? You drive or you fly? How do you get there?
I drive. It's 3 hours. I leave Monday morning. I leave Monday morning at 6:45, get down here for morning practice, and then I leave some weeks on Friday night and some weeks on Saturday morning. So it just depends on the week. So, yep.
Good stuff, man. Let's talk about Charles Rosa, 13-4 record. How do you feel like you match up against him here?
Great, man. I feel like the matchup is intriguing to everybody. I think probably him. He's like, oh, this dude's been submitted. Been submitted a few times, but that's the thing. I got submitted after beating dudes up, that's the thing. So my fight IQ is a lot better now that I'm working with James Krause, and I've never had a camp like I'm having now. So I'm just interested to see how I perform on a camp like this. So we'll see. The matchup is great for me. I feel like I love the matchup, and it's great for the fans too. So he's been around a while. He's had 8, 9 fights in the UFC. So he's got half the fights I do too still. But it's it's gonna be fun, man. Two vets, he's been around the UFC a long time, and I've been around the game a long time. So let's go.
Who are you mainly getting to work with at Glory MMA as far as training partners?
Man, everybody. Kevin Groom, Grant Dawson, James Krause, like Jason High's in there. Who else? I mean, there's just so many guys in there. A couple guys that nobody really knows yet, amateur-wise.
James Gallagher's over there too, right?
And James Gallagher's another one of my main goes right now too, because he gives me a good look for him. So yeah, I mean, we got tons of guys down here that are good, man. And a lot of guys that people don't even know. So it's gonna be fun. How's
the cut going to 45?
Great, man. My last one was the best weight cut I ever had, even though James says it wasn't a very good cut. He was just like, man, it took too long. It took, but that's because we only had 3 weeks prep time. Working with Tyler Minton has done wonders, and I'm actually only like a pound or two more than what I was when I cut the night before the last one. So, and it came off pretty smooth, and so this one I see going really well. I don't see this not being the best weight cut I ever had, so.
Krause is going to be in your corner. Who else will be in the cage with you that night?
The same guys last, James Krause, Dakota Cochran, and my manager, Train. So
awesome. And how's this fight playing out on February 20th? How do you see it unfolding?
Man, I get the win, whether it's by me, I think I can win everywhere. I feel like I'm better everywhere. I mean, he's good off his back, but that's not going to win this fight. So, yeah, I'm going to get the win, whether it's probably second, third round, submission, or, at the end of the fight decision. Charles is hard. He's tough. He's going to be hard to be put away. So, and I know that, and I'm coming in there knowing that. So it's going to be, I'm going to let it unfold. Usually I try to force it, but this one's going to unfold just right before our eyes. So, where
does a win over Charles Rosa put you? Because, like I mentioned, I know you have more fights than him. Obviously, he's fought in the UFC, like you said, several times. But he's a bit of a name. Like, he's been there for a while. He's fought Yair Rodriguez. Where do you see a win putting you? Does that get you in the rankings, or do you think you need a few more?
Nah, man, probably not. I mean, I'm okay with that. We're just gonna. It'll just get me to that next tier. I mean, hopefully, after we beat him up, we get a renegotiation of the contract. And then we sign whoever. When it comes down to them offering me fights, I'm a yes man. So whoever, whether it's somebody in the top rankings or somebody that's just coming off a Contender series or whatever. I mean, I'm not gonna be picky. I think it gives me a little more steam and makes people realize that I'm for real and that I'm just not a vet that got in the UFC on short notice, that I'm here to stay. So I think that's where it puts me. I think everybody then realizes, because I'm sure I'm a dog in this fight again. So
I don't know. We'll see. I actually have to check the odds after this. I'd be curious because Rosa lost. His last fight, I think, was the Bryce Mitchell fight, and I think he lost pretty decisively in that one. So
yeah.
So we'll see. So is this the last fight on your deal, or do you have one more after this?
No, I have one more. Yeah,
okay, gotcha. Because because I know you always do the last one. But it's interesting. I've talked to a few fighters where they're like, "Yeah, this is my last fight." And I'm like, "Don't you negotiate that before the last fight?" But anyways,
yeah,
I guess teach.
I mean, it just depends on what you're looking for.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
that's good. Tell me, when you're doing the drive, what are you listening to in the car? Are you a podcast guy, or are you listening to music?
Yeah, podcast. Sometimes, honestly, I sit in silence a lot and just think and just drive. Dude, I really do, man. I'll get down to an hour before I get hit KC. I'm like, damn, I haven't listened to a single thing.
Silence is so needed, man, especially in this day and age with technology and all that stuff. It's good to just separate and get that moment of silence. I'm the same way, man. I love it. Early in the morning is kind of my silent time.
Yeah, for sure. And especially, the sun's rising and stuff like that. I try, I'll play around my phone. I'll put a podcast on and my phone will ring and talk on the phone and I'll shut it. And then next thing you know, I'm not listening to anything. So, and I just get lost in the thoughts and go. So
what podcast are you listening to?
I like Joe Rogan's, and then I'm into there's a couple, I don't even know what they're called, but the conspiracy theories on what's going on in the U.S. and shit.
Nice. I like that too. I think it's interesting. As long as you're not gonna go do something crazy. I don't think there's anything wrong with listening to some alternative ideas. I'm the same way. That's why I like crime documentaries and stuff.
And it's not like they couldn't be true right now.
Right. I know.
Some of the stuff, some of the thoughts about what's happening with the presidential election and stuff like that. I believe a lot of this stuff. So I mean,
even look at Epstein, right? For years they said there's no such thing as child trafficking and all that stuff, and now we're hearing all about that stuff. So it's you never know. So I'm with you there. It's going to be a great fight. UFC Fight Night, February 20th. Derrick, thanks so much for the time as always. Just remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours, man.
Man, my Instagram is Minner145. I just switched it back. And
nice.
Then, and then my Twitter is @Darrick Minner. So